All right, everybody, welcome to day number 20. We are in kind of a lighter set of today's work. This is where we are in our cycles. Today, you are going to need a mid set of weights. I'm going to use 12s, a single super lightweight. I'm going to use a 5, and a mini band. If you don't have a mini band, just go through the movements, and hopefully you can get one of these soon. We're going to go ahead and start at the back of our mat. Take your feet a little bit wider than your hips. So for most of us, that's about mat width. And just hinge over those legs, grab your elbows, and then we're going to bounce a little bit. So we'll be getting into our abductors with the band. So the upper outer muscles in our glutes that helps hold flexion and strength to support our knees and to support our pelvis so that our back is happy. And then we'll be getting into a little bit of the back and arms with the dumbbells. All right, walk those hands forward. We're going to go into our downward facing dog. Take deep inhales and exhales here. Pedal out the feet, bend your knees, and straighten whatever feels good for your legs. Get some stretch through the hamstrings, through the calves. Grab tight through the core. Let's bring our right leg up and then put it back. Take your left leg up and we'll put it back. One more time per side. Right leg forward. Make sure you're flexing the core to move along. And then that left leg. All right, we're going to walk our hands and feet together. Come on up, and let's go through some hip mobility. So bring your knee up and around, and then back, up and around, and back. So along the way today, just make sure that you are watching what's going on with that pelvis, right? So we really want to try our best to stabilize and neutralize the pelvis and utilize the core to support, switch your legs, keeping your pelvis neutral so that we get mobility in the hips. Keeping mobility in the hips then keeps our back in a better position. And then we have less cranky backs. Perfect. Okay, take a wider base of support, super wide, and we're just going to slide to one side and the other. Little spider lunge action here. Get some stretch through the inner thigh, the groin on that straight leg. Lift up from the chest. Expand under the rib cage. Walk your hands over to the other side. Straighten that other leg. We'll go back and forth a couple times. Perfect. And then slide it on over back to the right. All right. We are going to be hitting up 30 reps of everything today. So that's why we're saying light as well. Go ahead and grab that band and put it on above your kneecaps. So I am going to be going body weight squats. If you would like to hold weight for your squats, feel free. But I am truly embodying a lighter set today, giving the body just a little bit of recovery, gearing up for our next heavy round that will be coming on Monday. Okay, knees line with the toes. Push your knees out into the band. Sit nice and deep. Drive up through those heels. So utilizing the band helps incorporate a little more of those abductors. We also want to try to envision that we have this band on when we're doing a regular squat to help build the abductors, the outsides of the thighs, and it helps keep your knees healthier, happier, and that better position. Try to sit your hips back and down. Drive up from your heels. Keep the belly firm and strong. Sit your chest nice and tall. This is 25, 28, 29, and 30. Okay, grab that set of bells, and you can keep your band where it's at. We're going to go into a suitcase row. So suitcase row, hinge forward, elbows squeeze nice and tight. Focus on grabbing through your upper middle back. 5, have a super solid hinge. 8, 9, and 10. If you need to come up and reset, totally fine. Use your core to support that low back. Focus on your upper back, pulling the weights, as opposed to just thinking about those elbows charging up and down. Keep it strong. 25, 26, 27. You got it. 29, 30. Power in numbers, just building it up. Okay, we're going to head to the ground. Keep your band where it's at. And we're just going to do glute bridges. Both feet on the ground. Again, find tension on the band, just like we did with our squats. I'm just at 5, so we take our time here. 7, build up those glutes. Feel your hip flexors open. Find that little pause at the top. I find some of us have a hard time finding the glutes without adding weight or some sort of cueing, resistance cueing. So finding the ability to flex on your own is really going to be effective for helping to build the muscle and getting the glutes, again, to support the pelvis. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Drop your hips. Take a little hug on those knees. We're going to put our feet back down, hips back in a glute bridge, and we're going to do a tricep press. So tricep press is narrow elbows, squeezing in tight, close to your rib cage, and then your hands press straight up overhead, over your shoulders. 6, 7, stay relaxed through the neck, strong through the back, strong through the core. Should feel those glutes burning a little as well. Getting a few different things going on here. Feels good. 19, 20, make sure those wrists are staying strong. 5, 6, keep the belly firm. Roll those shoulders back and down. 29, 30. Okay, get rid of your 12s, or I guess this set, whatever it is you're using. And we're going to roll to the side. We got a little crab action going on. Elbow down, stack your feet. You're going to pull that band up and away. Again, we're getting into those abductors. I burn those abductors a lot today. Stack up those feet, stack up your legs. Make sure that the chest is still lifting nice and high. Belly still super strong. Be in control of the drop, right? Not just the lift. Always keeping that band on tension as much as possible. So you're not releasing all the way where the knees are together. Last 10, 9, stay strong and tall with the chest and core. 3, 2, and 1. Woo! That definitely got in there. Okay, flip it around, other side. Okay, second side's usually a little bit tougher. That first side has already been working to support. So even though it's laying flat, it actually is pulling, or should be pulling, against. 8, 9, again, lift up out of that chest. Make sure the belly stays strong. There's halfway. 16. You got it. Stay with it. 24, 25, 6. Good burn. 8, 29, and 30. Oh. Okay, we're going to stay on this side. We're going to do cuff, rotator cuff. rotation. So you're going to stay on that elbow, grab your baby weight. Elbow's going to squeeze in tight. Rotate your arm up and then be in control on the drop. So this is one of those 3 that should really just start adding up over time. So the biggest part of the work is on the drop back, right? As the weight drops back toward the ground, keep your elbow hugged in tight, tight, tight. You cannot let it move away from the rib cage. Watch your wrist. Body's going to find little ways to compensate. 14, 15. My poor little shoulder, already feeling it. So hopefully you're doing it right. If you're not feeling it, not because the weight's not heavy enough, more than likely, unless you just have really badass shoulders, it's probably because something is not doing what it needs to be doing. Keeping the elbow in tight. Yep. Okay, so that's my max. I think we have about 7 left. I'm just going to finish with my body weight. Keep that angle going. When I wrote 30 of these, I was like, may not happen, but that's okay. I want to keep that rotator cuff strong and happy. Okay, we're going to flip around again. Other side. Don't forget to keep track of your core. We need the core no matter what's going on. Try not to get lazy in that rib cage. Here we go. New side. Starts so easy. 3, 4, 5, 6. Remember, keep the elbow in tight. Keep the chest tall. Keep your wrist strong. Good. Open that chest. Control that drop. Remember, the drop is where we're getting most of that work. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead. I think I could keep going. This is definitely my stronger side. But I'm going to go ahead and switch to body weight. Usually it's not beneficial or effective to keep the stronger side stronger. It only creates more ability and opportunities for the weak side to stay weak. 2 and 1. All right, come to those hands and knees real quick. Thread your needle, stretch across the front of the shoulder, and then we're going to come up for jumping jacks. All right, keep that band on. It'll add just a little bit of resistance. Keep the belly strong. 13, 14. 27, 28, 29, 30. Next time, if you want to add a little more, you can move the band down around your ankles, and it'll make it just a little more difficult. Okay, we're going to go in and outs. If you don't do in and outs, you are welcome to do crunch, or just move your legs without moving your upper body. But try to extend everything long. Push your low back into the ground, and then pull everything together. If you need a little bit of help, you can always pull behind the legs, especially if your hip flexors start taking over. Woo, there's our halfway. 17. Really watch that low back. Pack it down. Keep it strong toward the ground. Keep your chin tucked in. 25. And 30. All right. Drop your feet to the ground. Put your arms out wide. There's a round. We're going to let our knees go to one side and then the other. It's kind of interesting doing that with our band on. Okay, come back up. We're back to our squats. 30 squats. Set it all up. Keep it going. Trying to focus on those glutes. Push your knees into that band. Sit nice and low. Kind of trying to get your hips to about knee height. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, grab your dumbbell set. We're going to do those suitcase rows. Building that upper back. Core strong. If you start to have a low back grab and it's hard to keep the work in the upper back, you just feel your low back pulling, take a seat on something. You can grab a little seat on a bench or a chair or a ball. Focus that pinch between your shoulder blades. Pull your belly button to the spine. Feel your back lengthen. Make sure your hips and shoulders are lined up. So neutral. You don't have a sag in the back. You're not rounding. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Down for our bridge. Glute bridge. Set up those feet. Here we go. 2, 3. Remember, contract, flex. Use your own self-flexion. Don't just pop your hips up and down. Figure out how to add into the work. Keep the belly strong and locked. Good. 10 to go. 8, 7, big flex. 3, 2, and 1. Especially if you're someone that deadlifts bothers your low back, try to do a lot more of these because they're getting that same kind of similar motion of really activating the glutes while opening the hip flexors. Okay, we have our tricep press. Keep your hips up in that glute bridge. Here we go for 30. 2, 3, sometimes with high numbers. We want to rush the work. Try not to rush. Just stay in a nice, steady pace. 10. I definitely have a tendency try to get through these 30 as fast as possible so I can let my butt down. 14. Halfway. 17. See if you can feel the support of your lats, your back holding up, the core. 27. Keep your wrists strong. Keep your hands over the elbows. 29 and 30. All right. We're going to start on our second side for our little crabs. Rotate over. And then this time I'm going to go ahead and hit up our rotator rotations, our cuff rotations on the same side so we don't switch back and forth first. Where's the core? Are you flexing that core? We need to keep it there because otherwise, as we get tired, we're going to start compensating, contorting, twisting. Good job. Give me 10 more. 7. How tall and extended can you lift that chest? 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, man. Whew. Okay. Get that elbow in tight. 2. Make sure it stays tight on that rib cage. 6, 7. Control your drop. 10. Keep the wrist strong. Watch that wrist. 13. 14. This should feel tough. Reason being, it's those little mini muscles, teeny tiny muscles inside of the shoulder. What makes up our rotator cuff? I'm sure you've heard of or known someone that has torn their rotator cuff. They're little accessory supportive muscles. And if you just keep swinging that weight around without thinking about your form, you're probably getting out of the rotator cuff and into some of the delts. And we want to just really focus on those little muscles. That's where we need to build right now. Keep those puppies happy, supportive, keeping our shoulder in a good position. 2 and 1. And yes, of course, I'm guessing half the time on our 30 count, but tough to count to 30. Here we go. Chest tall, core strong. So many other things to think about besides just counting. There's 10. So far, so good. So watch and make sure that your body isn't twisting, right? Don't be pulling your hips back and forth. That's not going to help us get where we're going. We want to keep stacked up and just use that muscle. 24, 7, 8, 9, and 30. Woo. Good job. Okay. Then our cuff rotations. 3, 4, 5. Pack into the back. Feel the support of the back from your elbow that you're on, so you're not collapsing into the shoulder, but you're lifting up out of it and then supporting with the back. 14. Open the chest, roll the shoulder back, tighten the belly. Okay, I'm going to do my last 10 unweighted. 5, 7. We get our jumping jacks and our in and outs next. All right. Keep your band where it's at or move it down. Just try to jump in and out from those hips, right? From those hip joints as opposed to just your feet. Eight, 9, 10 in our third round. Okay, in and outs. Get into that belly, that core. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. There's 10. Remember to push that low back into the ground, pull the belly button down toward the ground, feel the abdomen scoop. Keep your chin tucked in so that you can use the belly, not just put pressure on the neck. 28, 29, and 30. Whew, okay, with all those high reps, we get 2 sets and give ourselves some time to stretch. So get rid of your band. If you have that band, keep on to it though, hold on to it. We're going to use it to help us stretch. If you don't have a band, but you have like a towel or another type of rope or strap available, go ahead and grab that. So you're going to put your band or strap around your right foot. You can bend your left knee or keep it flat on the ground. But now check in and make sure your hips are level on the ground. Okay, so your pelvis is level. Hold on to the band so that you can get a nice straight stretch to the back of the leg. If you're super tight, you may be way out here. That's okay. Just try to get the leg straight. And then I'd like for you to rotate your foot to the right from your hip joint. Then to the left. I don't have much range that way myself. I don't know where you're at. Back to the right. Keep the hips on the ground. Back to the left. Okay, now straighten it out. Let your toe drop back towards your knee. Give it a little extra stretch. Keep the hip on the ground. Put your strap or band in your left hand, and then you're going to rotate your leg all the way over to the left side. Put your right arm out away from the body, and we're going to stretch through the IT band, your hamstring, the back of the knee, the calf. Reach that right arm away from you. Take some deep breaths. Roll that right shoulder back. Set it in. Feel the rib cage expand on your inhale. And then shut down. Flatten in on your exhale. Okay, roll back in. And we're going to get our glutes. We definitely worked on them today. Cross your right ankle over the left knee. Flex both feet, reset, make sure the pelvis is still square to the ground, and then pull deep into the chest. Again, you may be way out here. You can always use a wall or a chair or a bench, something to put your outside foot against. But we want to try to feel that stretch in the glute. So I'm using my right elbow to push into the right knee. And then let's switch it up to the other side. So put your strap or towel around your left foot. You can have your right knee bent or flat on the ground. Straighten the leg as much as you can. Rotate your toes in. So we want to rotate from the hip and then out. And then in and out. Oh, you can really see how much or lack thereof rotation and mobility you have there. Okay, now just stretch back, pull the toes down toward the knee. Feel that hip stay pushing toward the ground. Put your strap into your right hand. Put your left arm out away from you, trying to keep your legs straight. Cross it over to the right side of the body. And then pull the toe up toward that right shoulder as much as possible. And again, maybe you don't go super deep, super low to the ground. That's totally fine. Everybody's makeup, mechanics, proportions are different. So find where you just get the best stretch. We're not all supposed to look like one another. It's not all supposed to be the same. There is no one size fits all on stretching, in my opinion. It's just getting it into that right muscle. Okay, bring your leg back in and we'll get our glute stretch. Cross your left ankle over the right knee. Interlace your hands behind that thigh. Dig your left elbow into the left thigh. Pull deep into the chest. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. See if you can recognize which sides are tighter, more sticky, where we need to put a little bit more focus and work. All right, real quick, just back into those abductors. We are going to do a cow face or half cow face. Half cow face is a little bit more hamstring in my opinion, but you can keep one leg on the ground straight out in front of you, cross your other leg over the top, and then lean forward. If you can, try to take that bottom leg, fold it under, and then lean forward. So now I have a lot more stretch in my right abductor that we worked a lot today with our band. And then let's switch it up. Tuck your right leg under, left leg over, and then lean forward. Don't worry if you cannot stack up the knees, right? Sometimes it looks a little bit more like this. That's okay. Still lean into it. It'll feel good. All right. Thank you for joining me. I will see you again on day 21. Make sure that you show up if you can. It'll be a heavy day, and it'll feel awesome. Have a good one.